chapters 21 through 31 from the book of Jeremiah, from the Young's Literal Translation of the Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Mark Penfold. Chapters 21 through 31 of Jeremiah, from the Young's Literal Translation. Chapter 21. The word that hath been unto Jeremiah from Jehovah, in the king Zedekiah's sending unto him Pashur son of Malchiah, and Zephaniah son of Maaseiah the priest, saying, Inquire, we pray thee, for us at Jehovah, for Nebuchadrezzar king of Babylon hath fought against us. Perhaps Jehovah doth deal with us according to all his wonders, and doth cause him to go up from off us. And Jeremiah saith unto them, Thus do ye say unto Zedekiah, Thus said Jehovah, God of Israel, Lo, I am turning round the weapons of battle that are in your hand, with which ye do fight the king of Babylon, and the Chaldeans, who are laying siege against you at the outside of the wall, and I have gathered them into the midst of this city. And I have fought against you with a stretched out hand, and with a strong arm, and in anger, and in fury, and in great wrath. And I have smitten the inhabitants of this city, both man and beast, by a great pestilence do they die. And after this, an affirmation of Jehovah, I give Zedekiah king of Judah, and his servants, and the people, and those left in this city, from the pestilence, from the sword, and from the famine, into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar king of Babylon, and into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of those seeking their life. And he hath smitten them by the mouth of the sword. He hath no pity on them, nor doth he spare, nor hath he mercy. And unto this people thou dost say, Thus said Jehovah, Lo, I am setting before you the way of life, and the way of death. Whoso is abiding in this city dieth, by sword, and by famine, and by pestilence. And whoso is going forth, and hath fallen unto the Chaldeans, who are laying siege against you, liveth, and his life hath been to him for a spoil. For I have set my face against this city for evil, and not for good, an affirmation of Jehovah. Into the hand of the king of Babylon it is given, and he hath burned it with fire. And as to the house of the king of Judah, hear ye a word of Jehovah. O house of David, thus said Jehovah, Decide ye judgment at morning, and deliver the plundered from the hand of the oppressor, lest my fury go forth as fire, and hath burned, and none is quenching, because of the evil of your doings. Lo, I am against thee, an affirmation of Jehovah, O inhabitant of the valley, rock of the plain, who are saying, Who cometh down against us, and who cometh into our habitations? And I have laid a charge against you, according to the fruit of your doings, an affirmation of Jehovah. And I have kindled a fire in its forest, and it hath consumed all its suburbs. Chapter 22. Thus said Jehovah, Go down to the house of the king of Judah, and thou hast spoken there this word, and hast said, Hear a word of Jehovah, O king of Judah, who art sitting on the throne of David, thou and thy servants, and thy people who are coming in at these gates. Thus said Jehovah, Do ye judgment and righteousness, and deliver the plundered from the hand of the oppressor, and sojourner, orphan, and widow ye do not oppress nor wrong, and innocent blood ye do not shed in this place. For if ye certainly do this thing, then come in by the gates of this house, have kings sitting for David on his throne, riding on chariot, and on horses, he and his servants, and his people. And if ye do not hear these words, by myself I have sworn, an affirmation of Jehovah, that this house is for a desolation. For thus said Jehovah, concerning the house of the king of Judah, Gilead art thou to me, head of Lebanon. If not, I make thee a wilderness, cities not inhabited. And I have separated for thee destroyers, each with his weapons, and they have cut down the choice of thy cedars, and have cast them on the fire. And many nations have passed by this city, and they have said each to his neighbor, For what hath Jehovah done thus to this great city? And they have said, because that they have forsaken the covenant of Jehovah their God, and bow themselves to other gods, and serve them. Ye do not weep for the dead, nor bemoan for him. Weep ye sore for the traveler, for he doth not return again, nor hath he seen the land of his birth. For thus said Jehovah concerning Shallum, son of Josiah, king of Judah, who is reigning instead of Josiah his father, who hath gone forth from this place. He doth not turn back hither again. For in the place whither they have removed him, he dieth, and this land he doth not see again. Woe to him who is building his house by unrighteousness, and his inner chambers by injustice. On his neighbor he layeth service for naught, and his wage he doth not give to him, who is saying, I build for myself a large house, and airy upper chambers. And he hath cut out for himself its windows, sealed with cedar, and painted with vermilion. Dost thou reign, because thou art fretting thyself in cedar? Thy father, did he not eat and drink? Yea, he did judgment and righteousness, then it is well with him. He decided the cause of the poor and needy, then it is well. Is it not to know me? An affirmation of Jehovah. But thine eyes and thy heart are not, except on thy dishonest gain, and on shedding of innocent blood, and on oppression, and on doing of violence. Therefore, thus said Jehovah concerning Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah. They do not lament for him. Ah, my brother, and ah, sister, they do not lament for him. Ah, Lord, and ah, his honor. The burial of an ass, he is buried, dragged and cast out thence to the gates of Jerusalem. Go up to Lebanon and cry, and in Bashan give forth thy voice, and cry from Abarim, for destroyed have been all loving thee. I have spoken unto thee in thine ease. Thou hast said, I do not hearken. This is thy way from thy youth, for thou hast not hearkened to my voice. All thy friends consume doth wind, and thy lovers into captivity do go. Surely then thou art ashamed, and hast blushed for all thy wickedness. O dweller in Lebanon, making a nest among cedars, how gracious hast thou been when pangs come to thee, pain as of a travailing woman. I live, an affirmation of Jehovah. Though Coniah, son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, were a seal on my right hand, surely thence I draw thee away, and I have given thee into the hand of those seeking thy life, and into hands of which thou art afraid, into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hands of the Chaldeans. And I have cast thee, and thy mother who bore thee, unto another country, where ye were not born, and there do ye die. And to the land whither they are lifting up their soul to return, thither they do not return. A grief, a despised broken thing, is this man Coniah, a vessel in which there is no pleasure? Wherefore have they been cast up and down, he and his seed? Yea, they were cast onto a land that they knew not. Earth, 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 hear a word of Jehovah. Thus said Jehovah, write ye this man childless. A man, he doth not prosper in his days, for none of his seed doth prosper, sitting on the throne of David, and ruling again in Judah. Chapter 23. Woe to shepherds destroying, and scattering the flock of my pasture, an affirmation of Jehovah. Therefore, thus said Jehovah, God of Israel, against the shepherds who feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock, and drive them away, and have not inspected them. Lo, I am charging on you the evil of your doings, an affirmation of Jehovah. And I do gather the remnant of my flock out of all the lands whither I drove them, and have brought them back unto their fold, and they have been fruitful and multiplied. And I have raised for them shepherds, and they have fed them, and they fear no more, nor are affrighted, nor are they lacking, an affirmation of Jehovah. Lo, days are coming, an affirmation of Jehovah, and I have raised to David a righteous shoot. And a king hath reigned and acted wisely, and done judgment and righteousness in the earth. In his days is Judah saved, and Israel dwelleth confidently. And this his name that Jehovah proclaimeth him, our righteousness. Therefore, lo, days are coming, an affirmation of Jehovah, and they do not say any more, Jehovah liveth, who brought up the sons of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but Jehovah liveth, who brought up and who brought in the seed of the house of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither I drove them, and they have dwelt on their own ground. In reference to the prophets, broken hath been my heart in my midst, fluttered have all my bones. I have been as a man, a drunkard, and as a man, wine hath passed over him, because of Jehovah and of his holy words. For of adulterers hath the land been full, for because of these hath the land mourned. Dried up hath been the pleasant places of the wilderness, and their course is evil, and their might not right. For both prophet and priest have been profane. Yea, in my house I found their wickedness. An affirmation of Jehovah. Therefore is their way to them as slippery places. Into thick darkness they are driven, and they have fallen in it. For I bring in against them evil, the year of their inspection. An affirmation of Jehovah. And in prophets of Samaria I have seen folly. They have prophesied by Baal, and caused my people Israel to err. And in prophets of Jerusalem I have seen a horrible thing, committing adultery, and walking falsely. Yea, they strengthened the hands of evildoers, so that they have not turned back each from his wickedness. They have been to me, all of them, as Sodom, and its inhabitants as Gomorrah. Therefore thus said Jehovah of hosts concerning the prophets, Lo, I am causing them to eat wormwood, and have caused them to drink water of gall. For from prophets of Jerusalem hath profanity gone forth to all the land. Thus said Jehovah of hosts, Ye do not hearken unto the words of the prophets who are prophesying to you. They are making you vain things. A vision of their own heart they speak, not from the mouth of Jehovah, saying diligently to those despising the word of Jehovah, Peace is for you. And to every one walking in the stubbornness of his heart they have said, Evil doth not come in unto you. For who hath stood in the counsel of Jehovah, and seeth and heareth his word? Who hath regarded my word, and hearkeneth? Lo, a whirlwind of Jehovah, fury hath gone out, even a piercing whirlwind. On the head of the wicked it stayeth. The anger of Jehovah doth not turn back till his doing, and till his establishing the thoughts of his heart. In the latter end of the days ye attend to it with understanding. I have not sent the prophets, and they have run. I have not spoken unto them, and they have prophesied. But if they stood in my counsel, then they caused my people to hear my words, and they turned them back from their evil way, and from the evil of their doings. A God near am I, an affirmation of Jehovah, and not a God afar off? Is anyone hidden in secret places, and I see him not? An affirmation of Jehovah. Do not I fill the heavens and the earth? An affirmation of Jehovah. I have heard that which the prophets said, who prophesy in my name falsehood, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. Till when is it in the heart of the prophets? The prophets of falsehood, yea, prophets of the deceit of their heart, who are devising to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, that they recount each to his neighbor, as their fathers forgot my name for Baal. The prophet with whom is a dream, let him recount the dream. And he with whom is my word, let him truly speak my word. What? To the straw with the corn? An affirmation of Jehovah. Is it not thus? My word is as a fire, an affirmation of Jehovah, and as a hammer, it breaketh in pieces a rock. Therefore, lo, I am against the prophets, an affirmation of Jehovah, stealing my words each from his neighbor. Lo, I am against the prophets, an affirmation of Jehovah, who are making smooth their tongue, and they affirm an affirmation. Lo, I am against the prophets of false dreams, an affirmation of Jehovah, and they recount them, and cause my people to err by their falsehoods and by their instability, and I have not sent them, nor have I commanded them, and they are not at all profitable to this people, an affirmation of Jehovah. And when this people, or the prophet, or a priest doth ask thee, saying, What is the burden of Jehovah? Then thou hast said unto them, Ye are the burden, and I have left you, an affirmation of Jehovah. And the prophet, and the priest, and the people that saith, The burden of Jehovah, I have seen after that man, and after his house. Thus do ye say each unto his neighbor, and each unto his brother, What hath Jehovah answered? And what hath Jehovah spoken? And the burden of Jehovah ye do not mention any more, for the burden to each is his word. And ye have overturned the words of the living God, Jehovah of hosts, our God. Thus dost thou say unto the prophet, What hath Jehovah answereth thee? And what hath Jehovah spoken? And if the burden of Jehovah ye say, Therefore thus said Jehovah, because of your saying this word, the burden of Jehovah, and I do send unto you, saying, Ye do not say the burden of Jehovah. Therefore, lo, I have taken you utterly away, and I have sent you out, and the city that I gave to you and to your fathers from before my face, and I have put on you reproach, age during, and shame age during, that is not forgotten. Chapter 24. Jehovah hath shewed me, and lo, 2 baskets of figs, appointed before the temple of Jehovah, after the removing by Nebuchadrezzar king of Babylon of Jeconiah son of Jehoiakim king of Judah, and the heads of Judah, and the artisan, and the smith from Jerusalem, when he bringeth them into Babylon. In the one basket are figs very good, like the first ripe figs, and in the other basket are figs very bad, that are not eaten for badness. And Jehovah saith unto me, What art thou seeing, Jeremiah? And I say, Figs. The good figs are very good, and the bad are very bad, that are not eaten for badness. And there is a word of Jehovah unto me, saying, Thus said Jehovah, God of Israel, Like these good figs, so do I acknowledge the removed of Judah, that I sent from this place to the land of the Chaldeans, for good. And I have set mine eyes on them for good, and have brought them back to this land, and built them up. And I throw not down, and have planted them, and pluck not up. And I have given to them a heart to know me. For I am Jehovah, and they have been to me for a people, and I am to them for God. For they turned back unto me with all their heart. And like the bad figs that are not eaten for badness, surely thus said Jehovah, so do I make Zedekiah king of Judah, and his heads, and the remnant of Jerusalem who are left in this land, and who are dwelling in the land of Egypt. And I have given them for a trembling, for evil to all kingdoms of the earth, for a reproach, and for a simile, for a byword, and for a reviling, in all the places whither I drive them. And I have sent against them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, till their consumption from off the ground, that I gave to them and to their fathers. Chapter 25. The word that hath been unto Jeremiah concerning all the people of Judah, in the 4th year of Jehoiakim son of Josiah, king of Judah. It is the 1st year of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, which Jeremiah the prophet hath spoken concerning all the people of Judah, even unto all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, From the 13th year of Josiah son of Amon king of Judah, and unto this day, this 23 year, hath the word of Jehovah been unto me, and I speak unto you, rising early and speaking, and ye have not hearkened. And Jehovah hath sent unto you all his servants the prophets, rising early and sending, and ye have not hearkened, nor inclined your ear to hear, saying, Turn back, I pray you, each from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings, and dwell on the ground that Jehovah hath given to you and to your fathers from age unto age. And ye do not go after other gods to serve them, and to bow yourselves to them, nor do ye provoke me to anger with the work of your hands, and I do no evil to you. And ye have not hearkened unto me, an affirmation of Jehovah, so as to provoke me to anger with the work of your hands for evil to you. Therefore thus said Jehovah of hosts, because that ye have not obeyed my words, lo, I am sending, and have taken all the families of the north, an affirmation of Jehovah, even unto Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, my servant, and have brought them in against this land, and against its inhabitants, and against all these nations round about, and have devoted them, and appointed them for an astonishment, and for a hissing, and for wastes age during. And I have destroyed from them the voice of rejoicing, and the voice of joy, voice of bridegroom and voice of bride, noise of millstones, and the light of lamps. And all this land hath been for a waste, for an astonishment, and these nations have served the king of Babylon 70 years. And it hath come to pass, at the fullness of 70 years, I charge against the king of Babylon, and against that nation, an affirmation of Jehovah, their iniquity, and against the land of the Chaldeans, and have appointed it for desolation's age during. And I have brought in on that land all my words that I have spoken against it, all that is written in this book, that Jeremiah hath prophesied concerning all the nations. For laid service on them, also them, have many nations and great kings. And I have given recompense to them according to their doing, and according to the work of their hands. For thus said Jehovah God of Israel unto me, Take the wine cup of this fury out of my hand, and thou hast caused all the nations to drink it unto whom I am sending thee. And they have drunk, and shaken themselves, and shewn themselves foolish, because of the sword that I am sending among them. And I take the cup out of the hand of Jehovah, and cause all the nations to drink unto whom Jehovah sent me. Jerusalem, and the cities of Judah, and its kings, its heads, to give them to waste, to astonishment, to hissing, and to reviling, as at this day. Pharaoh king of Egypt and his servants, and his heads, and all his people, and all the mixed people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Gaza, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom, and Moab, and the sons of Ammon, and all the kings of Tyre, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isle that is beyond the sea, Dedan, and Tema, and Buz, and all cutting the corners of the beard, and all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mixed people who are dwelling in the wilderness, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of Media, and all the kings of the north, the near and the far off, one unto another, and all the kingdoms of the earth that are on the face of the ground. And King Shishak drinketh after them. And thou hast said unto them, Thus said Jehovah of hosts, God of Israel, Drink ye, yea, drink abundantly, and vomit, and fall, and rise not, because of the sword that I am sending among you. And it hath come to pass, when they refuse to receive the cup out of thy hand to drink, that thou hast said unto them, Thus said Jehovah of hosts, Ye do certainly drink. For lo, in the city over which my name is called, I am beginning to do evil, and ye are entirely acquitted. Ye are not acquitted, for a sword I am proclaiming for all inhabitants of the land, an affirmation of Jehovah of hosts. And thou dost prophesy unto them all these words, and hast said unto them, Jehovah from the high place doth roar, and from his holy habitation giveth forth his voice. He surely roareth for his habitation, a shout as of treaders down. God answereth all the inhabitants of the land. Wasting hath come unto the end of the earth, for a controversy hath Jehovah with nations. He hath executed judgment for all flesh, the wicked. He hath given them to the sword, an affirmation of Jehovah. Thus said Jehovah of hosts, Lo, evil is going out from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind is stirred up from the sides of the earth. And the pierced of Jehovah have been in that day, from the end of the earth even unto the end of the earth. They are not lamented, nor gathered, nor buried, for dung on the face of the ground they are. Howl, ye shepherds, and cry, and roll yourselves, ye honorable of the flock. For full have been your days, for slaughtering, and for your scatterings, and ye have fallen as a desirable vessel. And perished hath refuge from the shepherds, and escaped from the honorable of the flock. A voice is of the cry of the shepherds, and a howling of the honorable of the flock, for Jehovah is spoiling their pasture. And the peaceable habitations have been cut down, because of the fierceness of the anger of Jehovah. He hath forsaken as a young lion his covert. Surely their land hath become a desolation, because of the oppressing fierceness, and because of the fierceness of his anger. Chapter 26. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, hath this word been from Jehovah, saying, Thus said Jehovah, Stand thou in the court of the house of Jehovah, and thou hast spoken unto all those of the cities of Judah, who are coming in to bow themselves in the house of Jehovah, all the words that I have commanded thee to speak unto them, thou dost not diminish a word. If so be they hearken, and turn back each from his evil way, then I have repented concerning the evil that I am thinking of doing to them, because of the evil of their doings. And thou hast said unto them, Thus said Jehovah, if ye do not hearken unto me, to walk in my law that I set before you, to hearken to the words of my servants the prophets, who I am sending unto you, yea, rising early and sending, and ye have not hearkened, then I have given up this house as Shiloh, and this city I give up for a reviling to all nations of the earth. And the priests and the prophets and all the people hear Jeremiah speaking these words in the house of Jehovah. And it cometh to pass, at the completion of Jeremiah speaking all that Jehovah hath commanded him to speak unto all the people, that the priests and the prophets and all the people catch him, saying, Thou dost surely die. Wherefore hast thou prophesied in the name of Jehovah, saying, As Shiloh this house shall be, and this city is wasted without inhabitant? And all the people are assembled unto Jeremiah in the house of Jehovah. And the heads of Judah hear these things, and they go up from the house of the king to the house of Jehovah, and sit in the opening of the new gate of Jehovah. And the priests and the prophets speak unto the heads and unto all the people, saying, Judgment of death is for this man, for he hath prophesied against this city, as ye have heard with your ears. And Jeremiah speaketh unto all the heads and unto all the people, saying, Jehovah sent me to prophesy concerning this house, and concerning this city all the words that ye have heard. And now amend your ways and your doings, and hearken to the voice of Jehovah your God. And Jehovah doth repent concerning the evil that he hath spoken against you. And I, lo, I am in your hand. Do to me as is good and as is right in your eyes. Only know ye certainly that if ye are putting me to death, surely innocent blood ye are putting on yourselves, and on this city, and on its inhabitants. For truly hath Jehovah sent me unto you, to speak in your ears all these words. And the heads and all the people say unto the priests and unto the prophets, There is not for this man a judgment of death, for in the name of Jehovah our God he hath spoken unto us. And certain of the elders of the land rise up, and speak unto all the assembly of the people, saying, Micah the Morashite hath been prophesying in the days of Hezekiah king of Judah, and he saith unto all the people of Judah, saying, Thus said Jehovah of hosts, Zion is a plowed field, and Jerusalem is heaps, and the mountain of the house is for high places of a forest. Put him at all to death did Hezekiah king of Judah, and all Judah? Did he not fear Jehovah? Yea, he appeaseth the face of Jehovah. And Jehovah repenteth concerning the evil that he spake against them. And we are doing great evil against our souls. And also there hath been a man prophesying in the name of Jehovah, Urijah son of Shemaiah, of Kirjath-jearim. And he prophesieth against this city, and against this land, according to all the words of Jeremiah. And the king Jehoiakim, and all his mighty ones, and all the heads, hear his words. And the king seeketh to put him to death. And Urijah heareth, and feareth, and fleeth, and goeth into Egypt. And the king Jehoiakim sendeth men to Egypt, Elnathan son of Achbor, and men with him unto Egypt. And they bring out Urijah from Egypt, and bring him in unto the king Jehoiakim. And he smiteth him with a sword, and casteth his corpse unto the graves of the sons of the people. Only the hand of Ahikam son of Shaphan hath been with Jeremiah, so as not to give him up into the hand of the people, to put him to death. Chapter 27. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim son of Josiah king of Judah hath this word been unto Jeremiah from Jehovah, saying, Thus said Jehovah unto me, Make to thee bands and yokes, and thou hast put them on thy neck, and hast sent them unto the king of Edom, and unto the king of Moab, and unto the king of the sons of Ammon, and unto the king of Tyre, and unto the king of Zidon, by the hand of messengers who are coming into Jerusalem, unto Zedekiah king of Judah. And thou hast commanded them for their lords, saying, Thus said Jehovah of hosts, God of Israel, Thus do ye say unto your lords, I I have made the earth with man, and the cattle that are on the face of the earth, by my great power, and by my stretched out arm, and I have given it to whom it hath been right in mine eyes. And now I have given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, my servant, and also the beast of the field I have given to him to serve him. And served him have all the nations, and his son, and his son's son, till the coming in of the time of his land, also it. And done service for him have many nations and great kings. And it hath come to pass, the nation and the kingdom that do not serve him, Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and that which putteth not its neck into the yoke of the king of Babylon, with sword and with famine and with pestilence I lay a charge on that nation, an affirmation of Jehovah, till I consume them by his hand. And ye do not hearken unto your prophets, and unto your diviners, and unto your dreamers, and unto your observers of clouds, and unto your sorcerers, who are speaking unto you, saying, Ye do not serve the king of Babylon. For falsehood they are prophesying to you, so as to remove you far from off your ground. And I have driven you out, and ye have perished. And the nation that causeth its neck to enter into the yoke of the king of Babylon, and hath served him, I have left it on its ground, an affirmation of Jehovah, and it hath tilled it, and dwelt in it. And unto Zedekiah king of Judah I have spoken according to all these words, saying, Cause your necks to enter into the yoke of the king of Babylon, and serve him and his people, and live. Why do ye die, thou and thy people, by sword, by famine, and by pestilence, as Jehovah hath spoken concerning the nation that doth not serve the king of Babylon? And ye do not hearken unto the words of the prophets who are speaking unto you, saying, Ye do not serve the king of Babylon. For falsehood they are prophesying to you. For I have not sent them, an affirmation of Jehovah, and they are prophesying in my name falsely, so as to drive you out, and ye have perished, ye and the prophets who are prophesying to you. And unto the priests, and unto all this people I have spoken, saying, Thus said Jehovah, Ye do not hearken unto the words of your prophets who are prophesying to you, saying, Lo, the vessels of the house of Jehovah are brought back from Babylon now in haste. For falsehood they are prophesying to you. Ye do not hearken unto them. Serve the king of Babylon, and live. Why is this city a waste? And if they be prophets, and if a word of Jehovah be with them, let them intercede, I pray you, with Jehovah of hosts, so that the vessels that are left in the house of Jehovah, and in the house of the king of Judah, and in Jerusalem, have not gone into Babylon. For thus said Jehovah of hosts concerning the pillars, and concerning the sea, and concerning the bases, and concerning the rest of the vessels that are left in this city, that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon hath not taken, in his removing Jeconiah son of Jehoiakim king of Judah from Jerusalem to Babylon, with all the freemen of Judah and Jerusalem. Surely thus said Jehovah of hosts, God of Israel, concerning the vessels that are left of the house of Jehovah, and of the house of the king of Judah, and in Jerusalem. To Babylon they are brought, and there they are till the day of my inspecting them, an affirmation of Jehovah. Then I have brought them up, and have brought them back unto this place. Chapter 28. And it cometh to pass in that year, in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah king of Judah, in the 4th year, in the 5th month, spoken unto me hath Hananiah son of Azur the prophet, who is of Gibeon, in the house of Jehovah, before the eyes of the priests and all the people, saying, Thus spake Jehovah of hosts, God of Israel, saying, I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylon. Within 2 years of days I am bringing back unto this place all the vessels of the house of Jehovah, that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon hath taken from this place, and doth carry to Babylon. And Jeconiah son of Jehoiakim king of Judah, and all the removed of Judah who are entering Babylon, I am bringing back unto this place, an affirmation of Jehovah. For I do break the yoke of the king of Babylon. And Jeremiah the prophet saith unto Hananiah the prophet before the eyes of the priests, and before the eyes of all the people who are standing in the house of Jehovah, Yea, Jeremiah the prophet saith, Amen, so may Jehovah do. Jehovah establish thy words that thou hast prophesied, to bring back the vessels of the house of Jehovah, and all the removal from Babylon, unto this place. Only hear, I pray thee, this word that I am speaking in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. The prophets who have been before me, and before thee, from of old, even they prophesy concerning many lands, and concerning great kingdoms, of battle, and of evil, and of pestilence. The prophet who doth prophesy of peace, by the coming in of the word of the prophet, known is the prophet that Jehovah hath truly sent him. And Hananiah the prophet taketh the yoke from off the neck of Jeremiah the prophet, and breaketh it. And Hananiah speaketh before the eyes of all the people, saying, Thus said Jehovah, Thus I break the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon within 2 years of days, from off the neck of all the nations. And Jeremiah the prophet goeth on his way. And there is a word of Jehovah unto Jeremiah after the breaking, by Hananiah the prophet, of the yoke from off the neck of Jeremiah the prophet, saying, Go, and thou hast spoken unto Hananiah, saying, Thus said Jehovah, Yokes of wood thou hast broken, and I have made instead of them yokes of iron. For thus said Jehovah of hosts, King of Israel, A yoke of iron I have put on the neck of all these nations to serve Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and they have served him, and also the beast of the field I have given to him. And Jeremiah the prophet saith unto Hananiah the prophet, Hear, I pray thee, O Hananiah, Jehovah hath not sent thee, and thou hast caused this people to trust on falsehood. Therefore thus said Jehovah, Lo, I am casting thee from off the face of the ground. This year thou diest. For apostasy thou hast spoken concerning Jehovah. And Hananiah the prophet dieth in that year, in the 7th month. Chapter 29. And these are words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the remnant of the elders of the removal, and unto the priests, and unto the prophets, and unto all the people, whom Nebuchadnezzar removed from Jerusalem to Babylon, after the going forth of Jeconiah the king, and the mistress, and the officers, heads of Judah and Jerusalem, and the artificer, and the smith from Jerusalem, by the hand of Eleasah son of Shaphan, and Gemariah son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah king of Judah sent unto Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon to Babylon, saying, Thus said Jehovah of hosts, God of Israel, to all the removal that I removed from Jerusalem to Babylon, Build ye houses and abide, and plant ye gardens and eat their fruit. Take ye wives and beget sons and daughters, and take for your sons wives, and your daughters give to husbands, and they bear sons and daughters, and multiply there, and ye are not few. And seek the peace of the city whither I have removed you, and pray for it unto Jehovah, for in its peace ye have peace. For thus said Jehovah of hosts, God of Israel, Let not your prophets who are in your midst, and your diviners lift you up, nor hearken ye unto their dreams, that ye are causing them to dream. For with falsehood they are prophesying to you in my name. I have not sent them. An affirmation of Jehovah. For thus said Jehovah, Surely at the fullness of Babylon, 70 years, I inspect you, and have established towards you my good word, to bring you back unto this place. For I have known the thoughts that I am thinking towards you, an affirmation of Jehovah, thoughts of peace, and not of evil, to give to you posterity and hope. And ye have called me, and have gone, and have prayed unto me, and I have hearkened unto you. And ye have sought me, and have found, for ye seek me with all your heart. And I have been found of you, an affirmation of Jehovah. And I have turned back to your captivity, and have gathered you out of all the nations, and out of all the places whither I have driven you, an affirmation of Jehovah. And I have brought you back unto the place whence I removed you. Because ye have said, Jehovah hath raised up to us prophets in Babylon. Surely thus said Jehovah concerning the king who is sitting on the throne of David, and concerning all the people that is dwelling in this city, your brethren who went not forth with you in the removal. Thus said Jehovah of hosts, Lo, I am sending among them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and I have given them up as figs that are vile, that are not eaten for badness. And I have pursued after them with sword, with famine, with pestilence, and have given them for a trembling to all kingdoms of the earth, for a curse, and for an astonishment, and for a hissing, and for a reproach among all the nations whither I have driven them, because that they have not hearkened unto my words, an affirmation of Jehovah, that I sent unto them by my servants the prophets, rising early and sending, and ye hearkened not, an affirmation of Jehovah. And ye, hear ye a word of Jehovah, all ye of the captivity that I have sent from Jerusalem to Babylon. Thus said Jehovah of hosts, God of Israel, concerning Ahab son of Kolaiah, and concerning Zedekiah son of Maaseiah, who are prophesying to you in my name falsehood. Lo, I am giving them into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar king of Babylon, and he hath smitten them before your eyes. And taken from them hath been a reviling by all the removed of Judah that are in Babylon, saying, Jehovah doth set thee as Zedekiah, and as Ahab, whom the king of Babylon roasted with fire, because that they have done folly in Israel, and commit adultery with the wives of their neighbors, and speak a word in my name falsely that I have not commanded them. And I am he who knoweth, and a witness, an affirmation of Jehovah. And unto Shemaiah the Nehelamite thou dost speak, saying, Thus said Jehovah of hosts, God of Israel, saying, Because that thou hast sent in thy name letters unto all the people who are in Jerusalem, and unto Zephaniah son of Maaseiah the priest, and unto all the priests, saying, Jehovah hath made thee priest instead of Jehoiada the priest, for there being inspectors of the house of Jehovah, for every one mad and making himself a prophet, and thou hast put him unto the torture and unto the stocks. And now, why hast thou not pushed against Jeremiah of Anathoth, who is making himself a prophet to you? Because that he hath sent unto us to Babylon, saying, It is long, build ye houses and abide, and plant ye gardens and eat their fruit. And Zephaniah the priest readeth this letter in the ears of Jeremiah the prophet. And there is a word of Jehovah unto Jeremiah, saying, Send unto all the removal, saying, Thus said Jehovah concerning Shemaiah the Nehelamite, because that Shemaiah prophesied to you, and I have not sent him, and he doth cause you to trust on falsehood. Therefore thus said Jehovah, Lo, I am seeing after Shemaiah the Nehelamite, and after his seed. He hath none dwelling in the midst of this people, nor doth he look on the good that I am doing to my people, an affirmation of Jehovah. For apostasy he hath spoken against Jehovah. Chapter 30. The word that hath been unto Jeremiah from Jehovah, saying, Thus spake Jehovah God of Israel, saying, Write for thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee on a book. For lo, days are coming, an affirmation of Jehovah, and I have turned back to the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, said Jehovah, and I have caused them to turn back unto the land that I gave to their fathers, and they do possess it. And these are the words that Jehovah hath spoken concerning Israel and concerning Judah. Surely thus said Jehovah, A voice of trembling we have heard, fear, and there is no peace. Ask, I pray you, and see, is a male bringing forth? Wherefore have I seen every man, his hands on his loins as a travailing woman, and all faces have been turned to paleness. Woe, for great is that day, without any like it, yea, a time of adversity it is to Jacob, yet out of it he is saved. And it hath come to pass in that day, an affirmation of Jehovah of hosts, I break his yoke from off thy neck, and thy bands I draw away, and lay no more service on him do strangers. And they have served Jehovah their God, and David their king, whom I raise up to them. And thou, be not afraid, my servant Jacob, an affirmation of Jehovah, nor be affrighted, O Israel. For lo, I am saving thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob hath turned back and rested, and is quiet, and there is none troubling. For with thee am I, an affirmation of Jehovah, to save thee. For I make an end of all the nations whither I have scattered thee, only of thee I do not make an end. And I have chastised thee in judgment, and do not entirely acquit thee. For thus said Jehovah, Incurable is thy breach, grievous thy stroke, there is none judging thy cause to bind up. Healing medicines there are none for thee. All loving thee have forgotten thee. thee they do not seek. For with the stroke of an enemy I smote thee, the chastisement of a fierce one, because of the abundance of thy iniquity. Mighty have been thy sins. What? Thou criest concerning thy breach. Incurable is thy pain, because of the abundance of thy iniquity. Mighty have been thy sins. I have done these to thee. Therefore all consuming thee are consumed, and all thine adversaries, all of them, into captivity do go. And thy spoilers have been for a spoil, and all thy plunderers I give up to plunder. For I increase health to thee, and from thy strokes I do heal thee. An affirmation of Jehovah. For outcast they have called to thee. Zion it is, there is none seeking for her. Thus said Jehovah, Lo, I turn back to the captivity of the tents of Jacob, and his dwelling places I pity. And the city hath been built on its heap, and the palace according to its ordinance remaineth. And gone forth from them hath thanksgiving, and the voice of playful ones. And I have multiplied them, and they are not few, and made them honorable, and they are not small. And his sons have been as aforetime, and his company before me is established. And I have seen after all his oppressors. And his honorable one hath been of himself, and his ruler from his midst goeth forth. And I have caused him to draw near, and he hath drawn nigh unto me. For who is he who hath pledged his heart to draw nigh unto me? An affirmation of Jehovah. And ye have been to me for a people, and I am to you for God. Lo, a whirlwind of Jehovah, fury hath gone forth, a cutting whirlwind on the head of the wicked it stayeth. The fierceness of the anger of Jehovah doth not turn back till his doing, yea, till his establishing the devices of his heart. In the latter end of the days we consider it. Chapter 31. At that time, an affirmation of Jehovah, I am for God to all families of Israel, and they are to me for a people. Thus said Jehovah, found grace in the wilderness hath a people remaining from the sword, going to cause it to rest, Israel. From afar Jehovah hath appeared to me. With love age-during I have loved thee, therefore I have drawn thee with kindness. Again do I build thee, and thou hast been built, O Virgin of Israel. Again thou puttest on thy tabrets, and hast gone out in the chorus of the playful. Again thou dost plant vineyards in mountains of Samaria. Planters have planted and made common. For there is a day, cried have watchmen on Mount Ephraim, Rise, and we go up to Zion, unto Jehovah our God. For thus said Jehovah, Sing, O ye to Jacob, with joy, and cry aloud at the head of the nations. Sound ye, praise ye, and say, Save, O Jehovah, thy people, the remnant of Israel. Lo, I am bringing them in from the north country, and have gathered them from the sides of the earth. Among them are blind and lame, conceiving and travailing one, together. A great assembly, they turn back hither. With weeping they come in, and with supplications I bring them. I cause them to go unto streams of waters. In a right way, they stumble not in it. For I have been to Israel for a father, and Ephraim my firstborn is he. Hear a word of Jehovah, O nations, and declare ye among isles afar off, and say, He who is scattering Israel doth gather him, and hath kept him as a shepherd doth his flock. For Jehovah hath ransomed Jacob, and redeemed him from a hand stronger than he. And they have come in, and have sung in the high place of Zion, and flowed unto the goodness of Jehovah, for wheat, and for new wine, and for oil, and for the young of the flock and herd. And their soul hath been as a watered garden, and they add not to grieve any more. Then rejoice doth a virgin in a chorus, both young men and old men together. And I have turned their mourning to joy, and have comforted them, and gladdened them above their sorrow, and satisfied the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people with my goodness are satisfied. An affirmation of Jehovah. Thus said Jehovah, a voice in Ramah is heard, wailing, weeping most bitter. Rachel is weeping for her sons. She hath refused to be comforted for her sons, because they are not. Thus said Jehovah, withhold thy voice from weeping, and thine ears from tears, for there is a reward for thy work, an affirmation of Jehovah, and they have turned back from the land of the enemy. And there is hope for thy latter end, an affirmation of Jehovah, and the sons have turned back to their border. I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself. Thou hast chastised me, and I am chastised. As a heifer not taught, turn me back, and I turn back, for thou art Jehovah my God. For after my turning back I repented, and after my being instructed I struck on the thigh. I have been ashamed, I have also blushed, for I have borne the reproach of my youth. A precious son is Ephraim to me, a child of delights? For since my speaking against him, I do thoroughly remember him still. Therefore have my bowels been moved for him. I do greatly love him. An affirmation of Jehovah. Set up for thee signs, make for thee heaps. Set thy heart to the highway, the way thou wentest. Turn back, O Virgin of Israel, turn back unto these thy cities. Till when dost thou withdraw thyself, O backsliding daughter? For Jehovah hath prepared a new thing in the land. Woman doth compass man. Thus said Jehovah of hosts, God of Israel, still they say this word in the land of Judah, and in its cities in my turning back to their captivity. Jehovah doth bless thee, habitation of righteousness, mountain of holiness. And dwelt in Jehovah have husbandmen, and in all its cities together, and they have journeyed in order. For I have satiated the weary soul, and every grieved soul I have filled. On this I have awaked, and I behold, and my sleep hath been sweet to me. Lo, days are coming, an affirmation of Jehovah, and I have sown the house of Israel, and the house of Judah with seed of man, and seed of beast. And it hath been, as I watched over them to pluck up, and to break down, and to throw down, and to destroy, and to afflict, so do I watch over them to build, and to plant, an affirmation of Jehovah. In those days they do not say any more, fathers have eaten unripe fruit, and the sons' teeth are blunted. But each for his own iniquity doth die. Every man who is eating the unripe fruit, blunted are his teeth. Lo, days are coming, an affirmation of Jehovah, and I have made with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah a new covenant, not like the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day of my laying hold on their hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, in that they made void my covenant, and I ruled over them, an affirmation of Jehovah. For this is the covenant that I make with the house of Israel after those days, an affirmation of Jehovah. I have given my law in their inward part, and on their heart I do write it, and I have been to them for God, and they are to me for a people. And they do not teach any more each his neighbor and each his brother, saying, Know ye Jehovah? For they all know me, from their least unto their greatest, an affirmation of Jehovah. For I pardon their iniquity, and of their sin I make mention no more. Thus said Jehovah, who is giving the sun for a light by day, the statutes of moon and stars for a light by night, quieting the sea when its billows roar. Jehovah of hosts is his name. If these statutes depart from before me, an affirmation of Jehovah, even the seed of Israel doth cease from being a nation before me all the days. Thus said Jehovah, if the heavens above be measured, and the foundations of earth below searched, even I kick against all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, an affirmation of Jehovah. Lo, days are coming, an affirmation of Jehovah. And the city hath been built to Jehovah, from the tower of Hananiel to the gate of the corner. And gone out again hath the measuring line over against it, unto the height of Gareb, and it hath compassed to Goah. And all the valley of the carcasses and of the ashes, and all the fields unto the brook Kidron, unto the corner of the horse gate eastward, are holy to Jehovah. It is not plucked up, nor is it thrown down any more to the age. The end of chapters 21 to 31 of the book of Jeremiah, from the Young's Literal Translation of the Bible. Recording by Mark Penfold.